Hi, this is Tim of the 1916 Company. Welcome and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me. I am still Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. It is still in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any of our platforms. Please reach out to me directly. I am Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com. Today, we discuss a watch that debuted back in 2012, the Breguet Marine GMT reference 5857 in stainless steel. 42 millimeters in diameter. It's actually a pretty svelte 12.5 millimeters thick, but a broad 53.1 millimeters from lug tip to lug tip, and it has a proportionally large 22 millimeter spacing between the lugs. We're going to throw this watch on my wrist of 16 centimeters circumference and get a sense of its size. It is large. Actually, because of the lug span, I'm going to recommend you not wear this watch on a wrist any smaller than mine. It is a thin watch, and you can see with the sloped flank, it can fit underneath the cuff pretty easily. But even with lugs that are somewhat downward canted, you can see how I don't have a whole lot of clearance on either side, and that really becomes evident from over the top. The strap, though, is a true sports watch strap, nicely integrated, so no daylight between lugs and strap or strap and case. And then we have this sort of pyramide, almost like a clou de Paris pattern, with some striations to add definition, and then the Marine's signature wave pattern on the bottom, helping to evacuate the material a bit and add flexibility, as well as allowing the wrist to ventilate and air out on a hot day. We've got a clasp that includes strap minders, featuring once again the wave motif, and note the strap minders here are metal, an upscale look. We also have that wave motif in the profile of the buckle, which includes polish and satin, and then a snapshot single-fold friction-fit clasp that closes with a crisp snap. Rolling around to the case, the wave motif again in the crown guard profile. The lugs very similar to the pastille lugs on Breguet dress watches, but with a water resistance here of 100 meters, so it's considerably more versatile watch. You have the Breguet logo on the crown, and then a double gadroon bezel with coining in the case flank, all the way around circumferentially. Note that the strap is held in using screws and bars. A very upscale and expensive and very secure and safe way of fixing a strap to a case, especially on an expensive, heavy sports watch like this that could be used for an active lifestyle. You like to see that system. Now, the dial. First thing you need to know is it's made of solid gold. It is a disc of 18 karat gold. It's turned on an engine to create these lovely wave patterns, as well as a rayon pattern and a little vague or mini wave pattern for the 24-hour sub-register. We have more of a rosette pattern at center and around the track outboard with a brushed satin finish underneath the applied blued metal Roman numerals radially arrayed with a watchmaker's 4. The hands are blued steel Breguet style to the extent that the sports watch format permits. Now, the watch does have two time zones. There's the one at center and then there's the one at 6 o'clock, and you can set them independently. The way you do that is you set the local hour independent, and if you wish to set everything in sync, then you withdraw the crown to its extremity. Note the watch does not have hacking seconds, though it has many other features. When you adjust the local hand, you can adjust the date forward or backwards based on your travels. And the watch does have luminescence, which we're going to explore now. You can see that even the subdials have been loomed, although there is really no reading the 24-hour subdial. You can see the second time zone. Now, the dial, of course, is a solid disc of gold. It's been cut on engines and then silvered to give it this silver-white appearance. Just explaining how the second time zone works. It's in a 12-hour format at the base, but then there's this 24-hour dial that lets you know whether you're looking at, for example, 6 in the evening or 6 in the morning. And because you can see that little hand is adjacent to 1800, you're looking at 6 in the evening on that secondary dial. The movement is capped by a beautiful engine-turned gold rotor. You can see it has guilloche, a sort of nautilus shell or wave-like format. You can also see these little engraved waves around the back, again, a recurring motif. Breguet, of course, watchmaker to the French Navy, horloger de la Marine, and de la Marine, very important, because being a watchmaker to the Navy meant you were also a creator of navigation clocks or chronometers. Now, the movement here is 517F. This is based on the Frédéric Piguet 1150, which is manufacturer Blancpain, so part of the larger Swatch group. The bridges are quite nicely executed. It's an automatic winder with 72 hours of power reserve. It's got a 4 hertz beat rate. You can see that it has a free sprung balance with all the adjustments to the timing done using variable inertia bolts on the balance, and that those are recessed from the free airstream. So it's a very shock resistant system, a very precise system for adjusting, and this is a 6-position adjustment, one more than a standard chronometer, so a very accurate watch. Also, withdrawing the variable inertia bolts from the free airstream reduces the small effect of aerodynamic drag on timing. We have an anti-magnetic silicone hairspring here, 2 barrels, endowing the watch with a longish power reserve, but also ensuring a very flat torque curve so that only at the very extremes of wind, maximum wind and minimum wind before it stops, will you have a lot of fluctuation in the amplitude of the balance. All of this pivoting on 30 joules. Of course, you have that spectacular guilloche on the rotor, black polish on all the screw heads. There's snailing on the barrel caps. Look at the edge of the bridges. You could see nice rounded mirrored anglage of a high grade, undoubtedly started by mechanical means, but from the looks of it, finished manually. And then we have stripes, and high-grade stripes across the bridges. You can see those Geneva waves perfectly aligned from bridge to bridge with a little bit of snailing on the edge of the bridges. A really good-looking movement in every regard. And again, with 2 time zones and 100 meters of water resistance, this is a watch for all seasons and travelers. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.